the manager?
No, son, but here he is coming towards you right now. Oh, Mr. Blake, these boys want to see you.
Thanks, mister.
Yes, boys. Can I help you?
Yes, sir. Miss Brown
Miss Brown? Oh, she's asking to borrow one of our size sticks.
That's right, sir.
Well, thanks for bringing it back so soon. By the way, boys, what did she want it for? I couldn't figure that out. We've had people come to the store and ask us for an empty box, and we oblige them if we can. But no one has ever asked to borrow a size stick.
We can tell him, Joey, can't we? Sure, why not? You see, Mr. Blake, we had a special class in school. Let me tell him the way it started, Joey. I saw it better than you did. We were playing a ball game during recess, and our friend Johnny Wilson got a good hit, but he couldn't run very fast because his shoes were tight and hurt him. I saw Miss Brown looking at the way Johnny was running, and gee, I thought she was going to be awful mad. But instead of scolding Johnny, Miss Brown sent for the sign. And then...
Boys and girls, I just sent for this thing I have in my hand. It's called a size stick. I'm sure you've all seen one before because it's used to measure feet when you buy shoes. I'm showing it to you because I saw something this morning that made me think of a kind of game that we can play right now. This stick's going to help us to play it, to learn something very, very useful. Well, the whole class seems to know what this is about. Johnny, did you discover a new way to run around the bases?
No, ma'am. I just couldn't run right because my shoes were too tight.
That's exactly what I thought. Tell me, Johnny, how long have you had those shoes?
Only about 2 months or so. When I got them, they felt fine. But the other day, they started to hurt.
That's the pair you're wearing right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Come up here, Johnny. Let me see what's wrong with those shoes. Well, no wonder they hurt. Well, Johnny, your toe comes right to the very end of the shoe. Those shoes are much too short for you.
But I've only had them for a little while, Miss Brown. And when I got them, they felt good.
Well, I don't doubt that. But they don't fit you now. All right, Johnny, thank you. You can go back to your seat. I'm going to explain to you why it is that so often shoes become too short after only 2 or 3 months. But first of all, let's find out why it's so important to wear shoes that fit properly. Now, Edward, can you tell me how far you walk in just one day?
Well, I don't know, Miss Brown.
Well, suppose you guess.
Oh, about 2 miles.
One at a time, children. Mary, what do you think?
Boys don't walk very much. Most of the time they play games and ride their bikes and do things like that.
Let's hear what George has to say.
My guess is 7 miles.
Well, boys and girls, your guesses are all wrong. The truth is that many active boys walk as much as 15 miles a day. That's quite a long distance. Some of you girls walk as much as 11 miles a day. You may not realize it because you don't walk all these miles in a straight line. But remember, you walk to school and back again. You go on errands for your mother. You play games. You walk in and out of your house. At the end of the day, your feet have had to carry you for miles and miles. Naturally, if your shoes don't fit properly, they're going to hurt your feet. If your feet hurt, you won't be able to walk the way you should. Now, would you like me to explain the way to walk correctly?
Yes!
All right, boys and girls. Now, first of all, remember what I told you about how your feet have to bear the weight of your body all day long. Now, if you don't walk correctly, you have to use more effort. Naturally, you get tired more easily. For example, many boys and girls walk with their toes pointed out. Well, that's wrong, because when your toes are pointed out, the weight of your body is forced to the inside of your foot. And the inside of your foot isn't strong enough to carry your weight safely and comfortably. And more important, if you walk this way, your posture will be bad. You'll get tired long before you should. And of course, when you walk properly, with correct posture, you can keep on your feet much longer without getting too tired. Like this. And of course, proper walking and correct posture help you keep healthier in every way. To walk correctly, lead with your knees, keep them bent slightly. Your toes should point straight ahead, stomach in, head high. You walk this way, and the weight of your body comes down on the outer side of your foot. Then it's transferred to the ball of your foot. When you walk this way, your body's properly balanced. Your posture's correct. You're able to walk with less effort. Of course, if you wear shoes that are too short, you can't walk properly, because shoes that are outgrown will pinch or cramp your feet. That's why Johnny had to limp when he was running around the bases. So let's see what we can do to make sure that we wear properly fitted shoes. Let's pretend we're in a shoe store. Mary, what's the first thing you look for when you're trying on a new pair of shoes?
Well, Miss Brown, I like pretty shoes.
Yes, we all like shoes that look nice. That's important. But, George, can you tell us what's even more important?
Well, I like to wear shoes that feel good and don't squeak.
Well, how about the shoes you have on right now? Do they fit all right?
Gee, Miss Brown, I don't know, but they don't hurt.
Well, sometimes shoes that don't seem to hurt you may be too short. Because little by little you become used to your shoes. You don't realize just when your feet have grown too large for them. That is, until they begin to hurt very much. Now, with this and with something else I have, I'm going to show you how shoes are fitted. How you can tell when your feet have grown larger and you need new shoes. Now, George, come up here and we'll pretend you're being fitted for new shoes. Now, take off one shoe. Tell me, what's the first thing the shoe salesman does?
Well, he takes that thing you've got and measures my foot.
This thing, George, is called a size stick. Yes, that's right. The salesman measures the length of your foot with a size stick. He places the back of the size stick up against the back of your heel. Then he moves the indicator up to the end of your longest toe. And the indicator shows the size shoe you need. That size allows room for your feet to grow safely, up to a certain point. That'll be all, George. Thank you. Your feet lengthen when you stand on them and when you walk. The well-fitting shoes must be long enough to give your feet comfort, not only when you sit, but when you stand. Children are often impatient when they're trying on shoes, but they shouldn't be, because it takes time to fit shoes correctly.
They feel okay. All right, Mom, let's go.
Just a minute, son. We've got to see how these shoes feel when you walk in them.
Oh, all right. They're okay. Now can we go?
Not yet, son. I still have to test the width and the fit around the heel.
Yes, your shoes should fit correctly, not only in length, but in width as well. Now, the foot is widest at this joint, which is called the ball of the foot. This joint should be right at the beginning of the widest part of the sole of the shoe. The heel of a shoe should fit your heel snugly. If it's too tight, it may hurt you. If it's too loose, it will rub you as you walk and will not give you proper support. Now, I'm going to tell you something of special interest to boys and girls of your age. You see, grown-ups can wear properly fitted shoes for a long time, till the shoes wear out. But it's different with growing children. I wonder if someone in the class can tell me why. All right, Florence, what do you think?
Well, I think it's because children's feet keep getting bigger and bigger, and their shoes stay the same size.
Yes, that's it exactly. It's important to remember that your shoes, but your feet grow larger. And it often happens that your feet grow too large for your shoes, long before the shoes wear out. It does seem a shame to stop wearing a good pair of shoes. But I'm sure it's better to do that than permanently injure your feet and your posture by wearing shoes that are too short for you. Now, all properly fitted children's shoes have extra toe room in them, so that feet can grow safely and naturally. But often, but they go beyond the danger line of safe fitting and fill up that extra grow room before you realize it. And if you continue to wear those shoes, you may permanently injure your feet. You know, it's like the danger line on a railroad platform. When you're standing at a station waiting for a train, it's dangerous to go beyond that line. And when you want to cross the street, if the traffic is going against you, it's not safe to go beyond the danger line of the curb. So, for the sake of your good health, remember that your feet may grow too big for your shoes long before your shoes are worn out.
You're right, Miss Brown, because I once had a pair of shoes only a couple of months, and they began to hurt bad. So my mother took me to the shoe store, and the man said my feet got too big for the shoes.
Now, wouldn't it be a good thing if you had some way of knowing that you needed new shoes before your old shoes began to hurt you?
Gee, that'd be swell. You don't have to tell me that.
All right, I've got a way to help you. I've made a special kind of size stick out of paper. Now, if you put your foot down on this sheet, with the heel in the proper place, you'll see how long your foot is and also what size shoe you need. George, suppose you try it. Put your foot down there.
Gee, my foot's awful big. I need a size 6 shoe. Is that right, Miss Brown?
That's right. Now, Mary, you come up and measure your foot. Take off one shoe. Put your foot down on the chart, which did.
My size is 4.5.
Yes, Mary. Now, mark the date on the chart right next to the place where your longest toe ends. Now, I'm going to explain to all of you how you can measure your feet just the way Mary and George did. Let me show you how. Now, suppose the shoes you're wearing now are the right size for you, though they may not be. Then, wherever your longest toe comes, here or here or here, is shown the size you should wear. But naturally, the inside of your shoe is going to be longer than this mark, so as to provide room for growth. So, once a month, measure your foot on this chart, see how much it's grown. When your foot has gone past this mark, that's when you're beginning to outgrow your present shoes. You no longer have enough grow room. Did you want to ask something, Florence?
Yes, Miss Brown. How fast do your feet grow?
That's a very good question, Florence. Some children grow faster than others, the feet as well as the rest of the body. Growing properly depends upon a lot of things. Eating the right foods, getting plenty of fresh air and exercise, proper rest, enough sleep. All these things are important. But nobody can tell how much your feet, or Mary's, or George's feet are going to grow at any special time. The only way you can tell how fast your feet have grown is by measuring them from time to time. Now, how many of you boys and girls would like a chart like this one to measure your feet once a month?
I want one.
Well, I'm glad so many of you are interested. Because you are, I'm going to ask your teacher to help each one of you to make your own chart. I'm sure you'll have fun doing it. When you're through, you'll have something very, very useful. Because it's really important to take care of your feet. You see, we nurses have found that in many cities, 3 out of every 4 children are wearing shoes that are too short for them. But if you measure your feet regularly, the way I've told you, you may avoid that trouble and give your feet a better chance to grow properly. Don't you think that's worthwhile?
Yes, Miss Brown.
I'm sure you do. All right, children, class is dismissed.
And that's what Miss Brown wanted a size stick for. Gee, Mr. Blake, it was very interesting.
Whatever style you wear, make sure you're wearing the right size. Ask your teacher to give you a shoe size chart. Show your mother how you use it. and let her help you to watch the danger line.